So if you guys can hear me, right, can you type number 1, please, in the chat? Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into today's topic. It will be a somewhat short seminar. I'll do my best. And if you guys have any questions, right, try to leave it at the end of it so that we can answer all the Q&As one shot. Okay, so a little bit of brief background. So if you still don't know who we are, basically we have served like more than 12,000 clients worldwide. I also have the opportunity of working with certain corporations, right, that help to give us the opportunity to read for like their entire company. So it really helped us a lot because it helped us to clock the readings, and at the same time we managed to gather a lot of data and case studies from all these interesting readings as well. And with the support of our clients and a lot of referrals, we have currently built offices also in Vietnam, Thailand, and we will soon also set up in Malaysia as well. So the two things that we specialize in, right, is actually 八字 reading and feng shui. But before I talk about all that, right, today's topic is actually on face reading. So it's very interesting. Why do people actually like face reading? Is because that face reading is kind of like a prelude to the entire set of metaphysics. I wouldn't say that you don't need to know the other things in order to be very good at face reading, but you can somehow pick up face reading, right, without much knowledge in the rest of the other disciplines. And that is actually one of the beauty of it. Now, then how does face reading actually come into play for the rest of our, for like, usually when we do our readings then? Okay, so when we do the readings for our clients, right, generally we are like, Singaporeans, so we are quite kiasu people, and we don't really want to make a mistake, What we do is that we combine 3 methods of numerology, and then we will back it up with information from 八字 reading, right, and also face reading in order to read for our clients. And why is there a need for us to add in 3 different disciplines is because that face reading is easy to explain. And at the same time, right, we can also give recommendations, right, in regards to the way you look. Now, numerology, right, is pretty interesting because it tells you your strengths and weaknesses in a very simple manner. So it allows me to explain to you very, very clearly, right, within a very short amount of time. And lastly, then we use 八字 reading to check on certain key areas such as the luck cycle portion, which is very important. So this is how we read for clients. And like I mentioned, right, it acts as a prelude for you into metaphysics. But the key thing is that why should we then learn about metaphysics then? Why is there a need for you to be here learning about face reading? Okay, so why do you guys feel like we need to learn about metaphysics? Maybe I just listen to some of the explanation from you guys before I tell you about mine. Anyone would like to take a shot? Like maybe we can look at just 1 or 2 answers from the floor. Like anyone would like to reply this question? Why should we learn metaphysics? Why are you here today? So if no one is going to answer, right, I'm just going to share with you guys, right, how I feel about this topic. So one of the key reasons, right, why, okay, Jen says learning about energies. I think that's somewhat correct because we want to learn about how energy, can affect our lives. And generally, it affects our lives in 2 different manners. The first one is that, yeah, you're right, to know more about yourself. So if I were to summarize, right, it is to learn the law. Now, there's 2 kinds of laws that we need to obey. One is called the law of nature, and one is called the law of people. So, what happens when you break the law? I just want to ask, like, okay, AZ here is talking about like being prepared, right? So maybe AZ and the rest of the people, right? What happens when you break the law? Like say, when you break the law in Singapore, or maybe you're like in holiday in Thailand, and then you decided to smoke a little greens, and then when you come back, then you get caught. So what happens when you break the law then? something bad happens to us, right? Whenever we break the law, especially if you get caught lah. If you don't get caught, then okay lah, good for you. But if you do get caught, generally something bad happens to you. Now, the learning of metaphysics, right, is to learn about two different kinds of laws, which are like super important. The first law is the law of nature. So I have met a chief engineer working in a tech company in Singapore. And the problem about him is that, right, he has a tendency to argue with people. So that is his certain kind of issue within his numerology and also 八字 chart, correct? So what is the law of nature for him then? The law of nature for him is to don't talk when unnecessary. That is the law that nature has for him, because he tends to argue, he has a tendency to talk bad, and then he has a tendency to make enemies. So the law that nature has made for him because of the day that he's born is that he should not argue and he should be patient, because that is his nature. Okay, so obeying this law, right, can help him to survive. That's why in army, we always call this like, act blur, live longer. So if you have heard of that in army before, right, let me know. Okay, so the second one is actually called the law of people. Okay, say for example, if you don't have number 2 in your numerology chart, generally you don't like to talk very much. But what happens when you meet someone that loves to talk and has a lot of number 2 in their chart? Are you going to be friends? Hardly. You're going to find that this guy is weird. Like, why is he just, have you ever watched like movies where Jackie Chan movies where Jackie Chan, pair up with like Chris Tucker? No, I'm talking about like the Jackie Chan movie lah. So Chris Tucker, whenever he pairs up with Jackie Chan, right? And then Jackie Chan will always ask him to, can you keep your mouth shut? Can you keep quiet? Yeah, correct. Rush hour. So the law of people is in such a way that if you have someone in your team that is different from you, you can read their chart or read their face and understand about certain laws that you need to obey in order for you to work together. Okay, so learning about metaphysics, right, allows us to understand about two things: the law of nature and the law of people. Now, today we're going to learn about the law of people, in a sense that we're going to learn a little bit about face reading. Now, I just want to ask you guys, should you judge a book by its cover then? Should you judge someone according to how he looks? This is not a HR question. It is not a HR question. So some people say, hey, Chase, I'm going to complain you to MOM. How can you tell us to judge a person according to how they look? So Marcos say no, and Calvinda says no. So for sure, we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Then who is going to complain? All those book cover designers are going to say, you don't judge a book by its cover, I'm going to lose my job. Okay, just kidding on that one. So the key thing is that we should be careful, but perhaps we shouldn't judge. Always give people ample chances for sure. But then, of course, we also need to learn how to protect ourselves, right? So to a certain extent, you should protect yourself, but you shouldn't possibly pass judgment that quickly. So that's what I mean. Okay. So next one, face reading. How can it help us? Yeah, correct. Okay. So face black and don't talk to him. Yeah, that's probably correct also lah. That's one way lah. That's another form of face reading lah, outside of metaphysics, I'm sure. That's like the normal face reading that we all need to do at certain point of our time. I mean, if you go for a date and you see that this guy is a little bit off, you probably need to back off, right? Like, this guy is a bit weird, sometimes there are warning signs. So for those people who are a little bit less discerning, I'm going to do my best, right, to impart a little bit of knowledge today. And if you have any questions, right, feel free to ask me at the end of the seminar. I will do my best to answer them. Now, number one, it gives certain warning signs about certain people at work. Now, how many of you guys have what we call anti-benefactors at work? Kind of like, 小人. A lot of people, they come to me for reading, they always ask, hey, geez, I have a lot of 小人 in my life. I have a lot of 小人 in my office. How many of you guys have this kind of people in your life? Anti-benefactors or 小人, or enemies, we call them. Okay, how many of you guys have them? Please type number 1. If you don't have any one of them, I applaud you. Can you type number 2? Because I want to know who you are, and I possibly will be very interested to read about your chart at a certain point. Yeah, so some of us we have, some of us we don't have. So for those people that don't have, right, you're very blessed people because you really, really know how to take care of yourself and you know what to say at the right time. And that's how you can avoid all these 小人. But unfortunately, most of us, we do have certain people at work. And sometimes, right, it is not because that you have offended them. That's why they become your 小人. But it is clearly because that you are not discerning and you didn't stay away from the wrong people. And that is why you have kind of like attracted them into your life. Now, the second thing is that, right, it also gives you certain cues. Face reading helps you, it tells you a little bit of information about certain people that you might be dating as well. Anybody who is single and still looking for still dating, anyone that's single and still dating, can you type number 1 in the chat? Okay, anyone? Yeah, so a lot of single people here are. Okay, so if you are single, right, we will probably give you a little bit of heads up about, certain characteristics of people later on. If you date and you see this kind of, facial features, what can you do and what kind of story does it tell? I have one client. One time, he's actually a doctor, he's single lah. Then he is super, super good at reading people. So he had a date, right, that have certain kind of marks on the on her fingers. Certain kind of marks on her fingers lah. So have you guys seen people like that? Certain marks on the fingers one. And then if you have, right, what can you tell about this person? It's a very, very complex question. I'll be very surprised if any one of you can answer this. Okay, nobody, right? So just from the looks of a person's hand, he could tell that this person, right? He could tell that this person, right? With this person's hand like that, right? He could tell that this person is anorexic. Why? Because this kind of marks, right? He told me that, right, a girl will only have it, right, if she try and dig into her throat and get food out from her stomach. Yeah, so I was quite surprised because I'm trying to read his 八字 chart and he's actually imparting like new information to me. So it was very interesting. It was a very fun conversation. But nevertheless, he told me about this girl and he didn't continue dating her because he didn't want someone that is very, emotionally needy or that he said. Okay, so give you a little bit of tips on dating and of course then we will tell you what kind of facial features can give you poor career luck and what you can do to actually improve your career luck. And hopefully it will also allow you to understand yourself a little bit better, and it gives a little bit of prelude into metaphysics like I mentioned. Okay, because it is somewhat simple to understand. And you will also find that it's very interesting because whatever that you see from face reading is kind of like linked later on to your 八字 chart and also to your numerology chart as well. So say, for example, if you see a girl and this person, has certain things about her that could make it difficult for her, right, to have children. I've seen clients like that. before. And interestingly, right, when I go and visit her in her house, right, I also find that she lives in a house that makes it difficult for her to have children as well. So a lot of things are kind of like interlinked. If you are like that, you will attract that kind of house to you. Yeah, so sad but kind of true. But that's also one of the reasons why we have to learn, why we have to do feng shui, because we are actually trying to break the cycle of unluckiness. Okay, so of course, after learning about this, please do not go around deleting people off your Instagram. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to give you a reason to judge, but try your very best to be empathetic to others. Okay, there's a reason why they behave the way they are. Now, now I want to just start off by giving you guys some tips on phases that we need to be careful in the workplace. So, how many of you guys have bosses that have uneven forehead? So, this is not a very good example lah. So, this guy obviously has quite a even forehead lah. So it is a little bit jutted out right at the end near the eyebrow, but it's not very serious. I wouldn't call this a serious case at all. But there are people with an uneven skull, and you can somehow see like certain bones jutting in and out. It is not because of certain injuries. Sometimes a person is born like that. So have you guys have anyone near you that are that is like that? Perhaps in the workplace or someone you know, like anyone know of someone who has an uneven forehead? If you have, please type 1. If you have never seen this kind of people before, can you type number 2? Okay, yeah, most people have not seen, and it is actually a good sign, because when a person's forehead is not even, right, it can show that the thoughts of this person can be very illogical. So, when you have a perfect forehead or a nice looking forehead, right, it is a sign of a logical person. If you have a forehead that is kind of like slanted in this manner, where it is at the base here, it is kind of like going out, and then at the top here, it's kind of like slanted inwards, right? This kind of forehead, right, is what we call a person that speaks quickly. Okay, so an uneven forehead is someone that's illogical. So what happens when you work with a illogical person? This person can have very, very weird or very skewed kind of expectations. So if this person is your boss, right, the way that he set targets, the way that he communicate expectations, right, can be very odd. Okay, then second thing is that if you have a person that's forehead is like that, slanted outwards like that, right? Usually it means that this person speaks anything that is on their mind. No, it has nothing to do with the hairstyle. I'm sorry. Nothing to do with the hairstyle. It's just the bones that are uneven. Some people have uneven forehead, like, a little bit going out on the left, a little bit going inwards on the right. And then they have certain bones that are jutting out here and there. So these are people that usually have a little bit of uneven thoughts, illogical thoughts. Then the third thing is that if you have a forehead that's going outwards and slanted inwards, these people usually make decisions slower. Okay, so nothing to be interested of people making fast decisions or slow decisions. They are all logical people. It's just that some people take faster time, some people take slower. But generally, if you see someone with an uneven forehead, it can be trouble. The second one is actually hook brows. So how many of you guys have seen people with hook brows? Brows that are hooked at the end. It looks like a triangle. It looks like that of an eagle's claw. Anyone that you know that has hook brows? Yeah, so if you have seen someone with a hook brow before, right, please type embroidery also considered. Okay, also considered. But anyone, if any of you guys, how about drawn one? Same. So same. So anyone have seen someone with a hook brow before in the workplace? So generally, when you see someone with a hook brow, it can mean that this person, right, has a nasty temper. Generally, right, hook brows, right, is a form of stubbornness, or we call it eagle brows. So if you see someone with eagle brows, it is a sign of stubbornness. But however, right, when this person becomes angry, right, it can be quite serious. Okay, so if you do see someone with hooked brows, do take note. Now, the third one is actually triangle eyes. Okay, so some people, their eyes, right, are not exactly oval shape, but it looks like a triangle shape instead. So if you do see someone like that in the office, what does it mean? It means that this person can appear to be very patient and can appear to be very gentle, right? But they are actually very, very strong in their character. And when they make a decision, right, they are usually very, very firm. And these people can be very tough when you negotiate with them. And lastly, if you do something that is over the line or overboard, they will not hesitate to go strongly against you. Okay, so this is another sign that you need to be careful of. So do not offend them, do not step on them, and and lastly, of course, if you see someone, right, with a pupil, so the black color part of your eye, right, is actually very small, so small that you can see white spaces on top and white spaces below. It means that this person is a very, very ambitious person, and they will do anything in order for them to achieve their goal. So when you have someone that is selling something to you, say for example, your agent, your insurance agent is a person with small pupil. Just a show of hands to understand how you all understand this. Should you buy insurance from this person? If you think you should, can you type number 1? If you think you shouldn't, can you type number 2? So, ambitious person, very small pupils, cannot, right? Yeah, so whatever this person say, you better check with another agent. Okay, so no offense to anyone that has more pupils. I'm not trying to spoil your business. Okay, I'm just trying to pass on some knowledge. Like I mentioned, right, don't judge, but use it as a way to protect yourself. Okay, so if you have a friend that's like that, or if your agent is like that, don't need to block them on WhatsApp. Yeah, don't do that. I'm not asking you to do that, but just maybe find someone for another code, or find someone to counter check what he says. Okay. Now the next one, crooked nose. Anyone have seen someone with a crooked nose? If you haven't seen anyone with a crooked nose, right, can you search for the Rosman, this ex prime minister's wife of Malaysia? Yeah, correct. So yeah. Yeah, from injury not counted. So have you yeah, if you have never seen someone, the classic example is always her lah. So if you have never seen someone with a nose that a nose is technically reflective of a person's thoughts. So if this person has a crooked nose, right, there's a very high chance that this person, right, is a very, very complicated person. Now, I'm not saying that complicated people are bad people, but what I'm saying is that complicated people, right, have complex thoughts, and that is usually a sign of danger. Give you an example. You see someone with a set of triangle eyes, and these triangle eyes also have small pupils, and then added together, this person also have a crooked nose. So this person is a very ambitious person, and at the same time has complex thoughts. What does it tell you then? Difficult to trust what this person has to say, right? Yeah. So then another one that I want to share with you guys is thin lips. So if you see someone with thin lips, right, generally you have to double check what they say, because thin lips people, right, tend to tell lies. Why? Is it because they're bad people? No. It's because that they like to tell people things that other people want to hear. It's just their tendency. It's just the way they are. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. But however, when you combine things, how about someone with big pupil and hardly can see the white portion? Generally, when you have someone with very, very big eyes, right? It is a good sign. Okay. Usually it is a good sign. Okay, then next up, of course, puffy face. So let's say, you have this person's face, right, where the eyes, the nose, and the mouth are very clustered together. And this person is not a thin person, pretty big size, pretty fat, but then the face is very small and is kind of like clustered, right? It is what we call a puffy face. So a puffy face person usually can be a little bit nasty. Okay, usually can be a little bit nasty. So just take note and don't offend them unnecessarily. Or if you really need help, try to ask from someone else instead of them. Okay, because you never know how they will react. And last one, very important. I've seen this so many times in my life. Someone with a protruding jawbone. How many of you guys have seen people with a protruding jawbone before? If you have, type number 1. No, the jawbone is protruding at the end. I mean, this is not a very good example lah. So this is not a very good example of protruding jawbone, but the real protruding jawbone should be even more protruding. A person with protruding jawbone, right, is very ungrateful. If you have helped the person before, there's a very high chance that this person will forget. And I've seen this many times, and I can tell you that 90% of the time, it is true. Be very careful, okay? Be very careful. I like to give people chances, but because of this personality, it has cost me a lot. And I can tell you that a lot of bad people in my life, right, have protruding jawbones. So I've seen this many times, not just for clients, but also in my own life. Be very careful about the last kind of person, okay? Okay. No lah, you don't have lah. You have a rounded jawbone. Okay. Sorry, I mean it in a good way. Yeah, so okay, so faces that you need to be careful when dating. So the first kind that usually we need to be a little bit careful, right, are weak brows. So weak brows means like, you know, this is not exactly considered a set of weak brows, like it's not very bad. But there are certain guys, right, that has almost no eyebrows. Anyone have seen a guy that has almost no eyebrows? If you have, can you type number 1, please? Okay. When a guy has almost no eyebrows, what it means is that he has almost zero temper. Okay, a set of brows represents a person's temperament. Now, the problem with not having any brows is that this person most probably don't have any temper as well. Is that a good thing? How many of you think that if a guy don't have any temper, it is a good thing? How many of you guys think it's a good thing? Yeah, precisely. So Marcos is correct. Liang Rui says no, as absolutely. So when a person don't have any temper, right, it could show that this person could be a pushover. Second thing, he could also be an overthinker. Do you want an overthinking husband? It's very stressful because the wife is probably already overthinking, and then you have another husband that's overthinking. You have two people overthinking in the family. You can't even decide where to eat during the weekend. Hey, where do you want to eat? I don't know. Hey, then you where you want to go? I don't know. Hey, you want to eat what? I don't know also. Wow, you don't know, I don't know. Everybody don't know. You only don't know what you don't want. You only don't know what you only know what you don't want. Oh, you see, I'm getting confused also. But you don't know what you want. So that is going to be a huge problem. Yeah, correct. Yeah, GG.com. So you have a guy that's very, very weak, right? It can really, really mean trouble in a relationship. The girl will go nuts because like, wow, I cannot get you to decide on anything. Jialat already. Yeah, just nice for dominant ladies. Okay, Johan, that might not be entirely true as well. The reason is because that even though they don't have a temper, but it doesn't mean that they like this kind of ladies to push them over as well. Okay, it doesn't mean that they like it. It's just a painful story for both people, what we call 悲剧 for 两个人. So it's very sad when you have that kind of story. Okay, now the second one, right, are girls that have droopy eyes, and I don't think this girl has droopy eyes, but you know, imagine the eyes to be even more slanted downwards. Not sure whether I can get my pen to work. Yeah, so even more slanted downwards like that. Okay, even more. I'm not trying to make fun of her face. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw for you guys so you all understand me better. Okay, so just in case you all think that I'm having some fun. So no, it's purely educational. So I'm so sorry for drawing that on your face. Okay, so you all have seen this kind of eyes before, right? So for guys, any single guys here, single guys, can you type 1, please? Okay, so if you are single and you are a guy and you are looking for a person to date, okay, so if you see, okay, I see some figures. So if you see this kind of eyes, it can be trouble for you because this girl can be very, very sticky. Okay, so she's going to ask you, where are you? I don't know, maybe every 15 minutes. And then put an air tag in your bag. My 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 client, right? The girlfriend want to put an air tag in his bag. How many of you think is human? How many of you think is not human to accept that? Yeah, so quite stressful. Okay, so if you see someone with droopy eyes, there is a very high chance that this person is a sticky person. She will feel insecure and she might, act on her insecurities by giving you a lot of additional stress. So if you date someone like that, if you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you're not okay with that, right, please take note. Okay. Now, the third one is a killer, a killer. Okay. I think this is not exactly super high cheekbones yet, but let's just, perhaps somewhat even higher. How many of you guys have seen ladies with like super, 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 super high cheekbones? If you have, can you type number 1, please? This is not just like for dating, but this kind of women can be a little bit dangerous, okay? Yeah. So when a person has very high cheekbones, right, this person like to argue. Very, very hard to live with her because she wants to control every single thing. Yeah, they want to control every single thing. So you know the nose of a lady, right? The nose of a lady represents spouse lah. Now the problem with a high cheekbone, right, is that it can squeeze the nose inwards. Okay, affecting the bone over here. And usually this kind of woman, right, are better to be single because the guy that is with them will suffer a lot. Okay, it is very hard to live with women like that. If you can, good for you, but most of us, we cannot. Okay, so this is one of the shortcomings of high cheekbones. Okay, so if you guys are dating someone like that, be very careful. Be very careful. Yeah, so I've just talked about that. Squeeze nose bridge. This is actually quite a nice nose bridge. This is quite okay. But however, if you see a very high cheekbones combined with a very, very squeezed nose bridge, it is a very, very serious red flag. Okay, avoid. If you are still in the dating stage, do your best, avoid. Okay. Okay, then the other one is someone with a hook nose. A hook nose. Generally, if you see someone with a hook nose, they are not very kind people. So please be very careful. If you date someone that's like that, be it male, be it female, please take care of yourself. It can be quite, it can end up as a very, very bad story at the end. Okay, so the second one that we need to actually explain to you guys, that is absolutely right. Okay, the stereotype witch nose. Okay, then the other one is not a bad thing, but it depends on how you want the relationship to progress. Okay, so have you seen ladies, right, whose face this part, right, is kind of like slanted inwards. It's not exactly bony or V-shaped, but it's kind of like, kind of like slanted inwards. So if you see a lady that's like that, usually women like that are very, very career minded. So it can be very difficult for you if you want someone who can help you and stay at home, because she's not going to stay at home. She is going to go out and work and put her best foot forward for her career. Okay, so a very career minded woman. Marcos, yes, it is the same for men, but however, it is absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is the same for men. If you see someone whose face is slanted inwards, right, this person probably don't have a lot of very strong family luck, and this person is a very driven person for career. Yeah, it's a very, very famous, very, very strong person for career. Hello, Amos. Nice to meet you. Okay, so that's that. Okay, this is not a very, very good example. The last one. So the last one is that, right, if you are dating someone who has a very, very thin set of lips on top, but below very, very thick. So these are what we call uneven lips, where the top is very thin, but the bottom is very thick. Generally, what it means is this person has a very high sex drive. Okay, so you can decide as to whether or not you want to date someone like that. Top thick, bottom thin generally means that this person is an overly kind person. Okay, so uneven lips, but thin at the top, but very thick at the bottom. Then you will need to decide if you want to continue dating someone like that. Okay, just a heads up for you guys, especially ladies. Now, we also want to share, right? Let's say if you have certain facial features, right? What kind of poor luck that it might give you at this round. Okay. Okay, so the first one is actually short forehead. So what is short? I'm going to tell you guys, and then I can almost imagine what you are going to do. You are going to take out your phone and on the camera and then go and measure. Okay, so when you have a short forehead, what it means is that you cannot fit 4 fingers in. Yeah, so you don't go and uh you know, don't go and on your camera first lah, because you know it will exit the Zoom. But generally, what we want to do is that we want to have a forehead, right, that is somewhat higher than 4 fingers. Okay, so a short forehead generally can mean a lack of recognition in a person's career. Now, when we check the numerology chart of such people, right, usually these kind of people will also lack the number 9 success star. And when we see the career pillar of these people in the Bazi chart, generally it will also present unfavorable elements as well. Then everything will correlate back to the short forehead. Okay, and the next one is very, very thin eyebrows. Okay, let's say, for example, if you don't have any brows at all, be it man or woman, your temperament could be affected, and it could mean that you lack courage. So which means that you don't have determination to change things. Okay, so lacking courage can be very, very troublesome, and it is also somewhat a sign of poor wealth luck, because a lot of times, you know, you might not have the courage to change a lot of things. Exactly 4 fingers is still passable. Okay, still passable, but shorter than 4 fingers is a problem. Okay, it's a problem. Then if you have hook eyebrows, okay, if you have hook eyebrows, right, it could be a sign of serious stubbornness. Okay, so this is one thing that could affect your career luck as well. Because like you know, this engineer that I met, right, he's a very, very kind person, very nice person. But because of the fact that he likes to argue, and when you work for China technology companies, you cannot always argue with your superior. Yeah, because if you always argue with your superior, what happens is that you will stand still. Very hard for them to promote you. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if you guys are working in a China tech company, you will know exactly what I mean, because I have a lot of clients, right, who quitted their job because they cannot get promoted due to a certain culture, a certain work culture that, you know, want obedient people. Okay, so stubbornness can get you into trouble regardless of whether you're right or wrong. Okay. Now, the next one is a scar on the forehead or on the brows. Okay, when you have a scar on the forehead or on the brows, and if that area is kind of like damaged, right, it could also mean that this person has a strong disregard for the law, and they just want to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. Okay, so that could also be a problem. Okay, then okay, this is obviously not a very good example. So this is obviously the second one. Second one. This is obviously not a very good example, because obviously her nose bridge is okay lah, above average. But for sure, if you have a flat nose bridge here, if you have a flat nose bridge here, it could mean that this person has very, very low ambition. So this person is not a very ambitious person. So you see, when you have a big nose, right, you need to have the nose bridge to support this ambition. But when your nose bridge cannot support your nose, what it could mean is that this person wants to get rich quick. How many of you guys work with people who wants to get rich quick? How many of you guys know this kind of people in your life? Like, have you ever met someone? I have. I meet this kind of people all the time because I do feng shui. So whenever they come for 八字 reading, they will be like, can I be very, very successful? Can you just tell me what I should invest in or what 4 numbers that I should buy so that I can become very, very successful? You see, most of us, we don't exactly have the luck to just live a life from investments. I know a lot of people, they do investments, and then they were like, oh, do this, and then you'll be like debt free. Yes, investments are great, everything is good, but if you want to be a full-time trader, investor/investor, right, out of 100 people, only 1 person can be like that. Get rich quick is low nose bridge, thought low ambition. Okay, ambition is different from greed. Okay, so you can have a lot of ambition and you will want to work for the money, but greed means that you want the money without putting in the work, nor do you have the ambition to come up with a plan to get the money. Okay, so there's a very big difference between the two. Okay, so low nose bridge can affect your career luck quite badly. And of course, small nose in regards to the size of your face. If you have a small face, it is okay to have a small nose. If you have a big face and a small nose, it could affect your overall wealth luck. Well, then, of course, if you have a big nose and a small face, right? Well, that's another problem for another time. Okay. Yep. I was just talking to you about that. So if you have a big nose and a relatively small face, it is highly possible that you will be single because it is a sign of a lonely mountain formation. Okay, then if you have a crooked nose, it will also mean that you are a complicated person, but the complications in your life will affect your health. So definitely a crooked nose, right, is a sign of poor health. And unfortunately, the height of your ears will affect your learning capabilities. So let's say if you have a low set of ears, it could affect your learning, especially at young age. Yeah, so be very, very careful if your child has that. Okay, you might want to put in more effort into coaching. Yeah, and if you have that, then you need to put more effort into learning new skill sets. If you have a high set of years, right, it could possibly mean that you are fast in learning. Okay, how to see low or high? We generally would want to use the height from the brows. If it is on par with the brows, it is considered high. If it is much, much lower, like 1 finger or 2 fingers lower than the brows, it is considered very low. Okay, so hope that's clear for everyone. Okay, then of course, protruding jaw is a sign of ungratefulness, and it can give you poor benefactor luck, because when you're ungrateful, right, you cannot expect people to be grateful to you as well. Okay, is it true that most successful leaders have high ears? I don't want to say much lah, but you look at our prime minister, then you will know lah. Okay, just look at our prime minister, then you will get a shock. Okay, so uneven lips, right, will affect speech and communication. So there we talk about, like, uneven at the top and the bottom. Now we are talking about like uneven from left to right. How many of you guys have seen people with uneven lips from left to right? If you have, can you type number 1? So the person's lips, right, are kind of like slanted. Yep. Okay, so if you have seen someone with uneven lips, this person generally cannot communicate very well and sometimes even have the tendency to want to tell you something that is not true. Yeah, so uneven lips will definitely affect their ability to communicate. So if you have a set of uneven lips, right, it could give you poor luck. Now, lastly, then we touch on the topic on moles. Generally, a lot of people say that, oh, if I have a mole here, it's good. I shouldn't remove. If I have a mole there, it's good. What I can tell you is that in general, we will not go into the details of moles today because, it is after all a free seminar. So the topic on moles is such that generally they are bad. Yeah, so in general, they're bad. It's just how they are bad because of their positioning. Okay, some places are creates more trouble than the rest of the other places. Like for example, if a person has a mole, right, usually ladies lah, that makes it easy for them to fall for husbands that might leave them. Then when we look at their Bazi chart, it is sometimes a little bit sad because it will somewhat tell the same story as well. Yeah, so that's what we are talking about lah, when we talk about the compounding effect. The compounding effect is what makes it bad. So say for example, like the mole gives a person's poor health. And then after that, we check the Bazi chart. It also gives a person poor health as well. That one, another topic for another time. Okay, interesting question, huh? That one. Okay, so for the moles, right, generally it's bad. Okay, but depending on where it is being positioned, it can be some can be more bad than the others. And then, of course, we check the Bazi chart and the numerology chart for accompanying signs as well. Okay, so you see everything pointed towards the same thing. Generally, it just means that whatever you see is correct. Now, the face reading technique is actually linked to the 5 elements. What do you mean? Because when we see a person's face, we can technically see the 5 elements within the face. There are some people that have a wood face. There are some people that have a metal face. Some people will have a water face. And of course, when you see people with big faces, generally they have an earth face. Well, since it is being linked to the 5 elements, we all have many different elements within our chart. And the interesting thing is that if you put all this complexity of the elements together, right, it can tell you about a person's Bazi chart. If you have a clash phase, most probably your Bazi chart will also be clashed. Okay, like you have fire and metal in your chart, then your Bazi chart, then your face will also have fire and metal as well. So you can, if you're good enough, you can tell a person's chart is clashed just by looking at a person's face. And just now, everything that we have told you, right, are actually kind of like deduced from the movements of the 5 elements as well. So if you look at the chart of a person, it will then tell you the full story about the person. So the issues that we use face reading to find out can also be found out in a person's chart. And at the same time, sadly, due to the law of attraction, it is possible that this person will also live in a similar type of house where if you read the person's house, every single part of the story will come together, especially if this person has not done feng shui before in his life. Okay, so other than face reading, there are also 2 ways for us that we do our reading, like we mentioned, right, numerology and also Bazi reading. Now, what exactly is Bazi reading? How many of you guys have never heard of Bazi reading before? If you have never heard of Bazi reading before, can you type number 1, please? If you have heard of Bazi reading before, don't need to type anything. Okay, so everybody has heard of Bazi reading before. So Bazi reading to me is a form of personality profiling where it tells you of your unique DNA. So it allows you to understand yourself better. And if you know how to read and you read for another person, it also allows you to know the other person better as well. Like we mentioned about the whole self-awareness thing, right? The law is such that if you obey the law, you might not get rewarded, but at least you won't get punished. Okay, so we understand ourselves, we understand the law that we need to obey, and we also understand about another person's chart, then we can understand the law that we need to obey in order to work with another person. The next thing, of course, is also that, right, if you know the Bazi chart, it can tell you about your misfortune even before it arrives. So say, for example, if you have a misfortune, you might not be able to entirely get away from the misfortune, but you can do your very best to reduce the impact of it to its minimum. Okay, if a person has poor health at old age, but the person is already stocked up with a lot of insurance, at the very least, this person will have enough money to pay for the illnesses. Okay, and if we know that this person has certain illnesses, like say, for example, heart issues, then this person might want to exercise, say, like 10 to 20 years in advance, okay, to prepare for that certain misfortune before it arrives. Okay, so that is what we mean by preparing beforehand. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have experienced this before, but now we are going to do a live reading demo. So I'm going to have like two volunteers, right, for numerology. Who wants us to read for your a numerology reading? So I'm going to do two for numerology and one for 八字. Okay, so if you want to do, right, is it possible for you to type in your gender and your birth date here? Then I will read for you all. Okay, okay, I've been talking for so long. Why not I get Bibo to help me to select two kind and lucky people? Bibo, can you help me to select two people? Because right here I'm seeing like I don't know, 100 million replies on the chat. Okay, first one, let's go. Calvinder. Calvinder, are you here? If you are here, I'm going to read for you. Female, 26, 10, 1972. Wow, okay. So Calvinder is actually what we call a life path #1 person. So the thing about one of the things that immediately I can see from her chart is that, right, she can be a very good leader. She can give instructions very well, and she can be a okay, let me take down the second one first. One moment, because Bibo has already chosen for me already. Later then I read the other one. So let me carry on with Calvinder first. So Calvinder is what we call a life path #1 person, but there's also accompanying with it many #1 in her chart. That means that, right, it is very easy for her to become a strong leader. She has a willpower of steel. So a lot of people think that she's a superwoman. Well, but one of the issues that we can see from her chart is that, right, she lacks the #2 star. The #2 star is actually a communication star. And because she lacks the #2 star, right, it can be difficult for people to understand her because she's very straightforward and she don't really want to communicate a lot of things. So sometimes people might misunderstand her intentions. Although she has kind intentions, but sometimes it is easy to be misunderstood in that sense. Second thing that we can tell is that, right, it is very hard to change her mind. Once she has made up her mind, right, she wants to do it, she will do it. And a lot of people, you know, try to tell her that, hey, you shouldn't, right? But it can be very tough for them to change her mind. And lastly, because of the triple number combination of 191 and 911, although there's strong leadership, but sometimes she can have she can seem to be a little bit antisocial because she needs a lot of alone time. So Calvinder is a person that enjoys alone time, me time. I know nowadays young people like to use this word one. I want my me time. I want my me time. I don't understand what it means, but generally when you have children, I don't understand the concept of me time anymore. Okay, but generally, this is the personality of Calvinder, and I would say that, right, trying to listen to people, right, trying to listen to people's opinion can help to improve your benefactor luck in that sense. Second thing is that there is a lot of numbers that are missing within your chart, and there's a huge jump because there's a lot of number 1, and then there's a huge jump towards number 9. Placing a focus on how things are done operationally can help you to achieve your goals better as well. So these two advice I will give to Calvinder. Okay. So the next one that I'm going to do is for Stanley. Okay, is Stanley here? Okay, Stanley is here. No problem, Calvinder. Okay, wow. Wow, so we see Stanley is a person in a life path number 2. I want to ask Stanley a question. Stanley, are you doing sales? Stanley, are you doing sales? Wow, power lah. Okay, so Stanley is a very outstanding salesperson. The reason why is because that if the number 2 star, right, it is easy for him to relate to clients. Okay, and second thing that we can see from Stanley's chart is that Stanley is a person with strong number 3 stars. Okay, so I see a lot of number 3 stars within Stanley's chart. That means that Stanley has a strong eye for opportunities. While this can mean that you can close deals very quickly because you have an eye for opportunities, right? What it also means is that you can help your clients to make money. You can because you have an eye for opportunity in which property might be able to help your client. The only problem with having too many number 3 stars is impulsiveness. Okay, so one of the key things that you will need to take note of, and one advice that I can give is patience. Patience, because having strong level of patience in your chart, right, can help you to achieve a lot more things in your life. The second thing that I want to ask is that, right, Stanley, if you are already married, right, you need to try to find happiness within your relationship as well, because when you have the triple number combination of 1, 4, 5, the person that you marry might not be the person that you truly love very much. While some people might say that, often this is almost always true, no, but in actual reality, right, people that have 1, 4, 5 has a stronger tendency to fall into this circle. So 1, 4, 5 people very easy to have this issue. Okay, so this is one of the issues with the number 1, 4, 5 within the chart. Regardless, 没有办法，因为已经结了，所以不变。Okay, so try your very best to stay strong within the relationship, understand each person's numbers so that everybody is happy with each other. Okay, so remember the law of people: happy wife and happy life. Okay, sometimes don't need to buy Chanel bag one, or sometimes buy Charles and Keith, maybe she also happy. Okay, yeah, sorry about the yeah. Okay, so next one, I want to do 八字 reading. So shall we select someone to do 八字 reading? If you all want, you all can send. Okay. Bibo has selected for me already. Thank you, Bibo. You are so kind. Bibo is such a kind person. So 18. Okay, 13 is Laurel here. Okay, let's go. Wow. I see a lot of talent in this person. You have what we call intelligence luck. Yeah, I see a very, very, very intelligent person. Okay, one interesting thing is that, right, Laurel, you have a chart, right, that is in what we call the unconventional intelligence luck cycle. So starting from the age of 46, there is a very, very strong ability for you to learn things. And not just that, it is easy for you to also pick up things that are not so mainstream, a little bit off one. Say for example, like learning music, learning metaphysics, learning maybe pottery. There are certain skill sets that you have into learning this kind of side interest, right? That can make it into a very, very, very profitable business if you put your heart and soul into it. This is one of the things that immediately I see from the chart lah. And the second thing that I'm seeing from the chart, just to give you a little bit of tips and heads up, is that, right, regardless from 46 years old onwards, there is also a element within the luck cycle that clashes against another element in your chart. So to put it very simply, it is what we call the fire-water clash. And this fire-water clash can give you huge issues at the age of 53. So during the age of 53, right, you will need to take care of your health because it is somewhat a year of poor health for you. Do your very best to do checkups on two areas. One of them will be your heart, and the other one will be the female body areas. Okay, so just do these two for Laurel. I have time, so I might do a last reading. I might do a very, very last reading. So can I do one last reading for 八字? No problem, Laurel. Yeah. Okay, last one. Let's go. Okay. Choi CH. Are you here? Choi CH. Okay. Okay, check check, check. Yeah, now already must check cause eyesight got problem. Okay. Choi CH is now 51 years old. Okay, for Choi CH, right? I really need to tell you that you are in a certain luck cycle where your health is not exactly excellent. Okay, so in 2025, right, it is very, very possible for you to have very nasty health issues. So I would strongly recommend that you need to take very good care of yourself. So one thing about your chart is that, right, there are many, many good elements of intelligence within your chart. And if, say, for example, you are in a job that requires somewhat, managing of other people, right, it could help you. But one of the issues with this current luck cycle is that after the age of 48, two areas are affected. Number one is your health, and number two is your relationship with spouse. So these two areas are strongly affected and will also the degree that you are being affected, right, will double at the age of 53. Okay, so in 2025, this degree of you being affected will double due to the year being a snake year. Okay, so just a little bit of heads up for you. Hope that this little piece of information can help you. So as you guys can see from what we have done, right, is that in the numerology section, right, we have read about the strengths and weaknesses for people very clearly. But in the 八字 section, it is very, very clear that what we have done is that we have broken down a person's luck cycle to tell about misfortune and to help the person to prepare before hand. So this is exactly what different readings are for. For sure, you can use numerology to do everything. You can use 八字 reading to do everything. That's for sure. But what we practice is that we want your reading to be as simple and as efficient as possible. And that is the reason why we have adopted two different techniques. And this is just a simple live showcase for everyone. Now, if you still have any questions regarding numerology and 八字, right? Today we actually are going to tell you guys about the services that we offer. And if you have questions about these services that we offer, can you please scan the QR code and send me a message after the seminar. Okay, then I think today we are giving also a exclusive promotion that cannot be found on our website. And the code that you can use for an additional 12% discount for anything is seminar 12. You can use this for products. You can use this for services. You can also use this for like our bundle sets as well. Okay, so you can use the Seminar 12 code for everything that you see on our website. And at the same time, today, we are also urging you to message us if you have questions about the services that we offer. Say, for example, you want to know about like, I want to calculate like CSEC date for my child who is not born. Recently, I have a lot of requests for CSEC date calculation. Yeah, you can send us a message and we can tell you about it. And second thing is, some people say that, oh, I want to talk about my home feng shui. Yeah, period 9 is coming. I want to audit my house to prepare for period 9. Yeah, so some people, they will also look for us for home feng shui service as well. So let's say, for example, if you read your chart and you realize that, you know what? I've seen, just now I read my chart already. Luck is not exactly on your side. Okay, it is very normal. There are basically a few different kinds of people. The first kind of people that we meet are people, right, that have very good chart and very good luck. But this kind of people usually represents a good, maybe say 10% of the population, or maybe 15% at most. Now then, some people will be what we call very, very good luck, but not very good chart. Then what happens to these people? It can be difficult for these people to reach their goals as well, because although they are being presented with opportunity, right, but they don't exactly have the very, very strong skill sets to take control of these opportunities. So sometimes their luck and the outcome of their potential, right, is being limited, being nerfed. I like this saying where it says that you have opportunities given to you, but you are not prepared for it and you don't have the skill sets for it, right? You will make a mess out of it. So in Chinese, we call this 给你机会，可是没有运气，可是你没有那个能力的话，只会造成一个闹剧。So you have a opportunity given to you, you make a mess. Then the third kind of people, right, are people that have very, very good chart. They have strong capabilities, but however, they are being met with many, many misfortunes in their life. So these are the people that are very sad and often very low in morale and discouraged. So if you belong to the second and third group of people, don't be so stressed. Then of course, the last group of people are people that don't have very good luck and don't have a very good chart. Please take note that all these are only 1/3 or 33.33% of your life. The other 33.33% is represented by what we call earth luck, which represents your feng shui, the place you live. And the last 33.33% are the friends you make, the decisions you take, and the kind of career path that you choose in your life. Okay, so today we also want to showcase to you guys some of the services that we carry within our website as well. So we have this bundle set, right? Because a lot of people are very interested in our bracelets. But however, if you are also interested in getting a reading for yourself, you can go for our bracelet with 八字 reading bundle. So what it does is that, right, you go through the entire detailed reading session, and at the end of it, right, we recommend you the bracelet that is best for you to purchase. Within the reading session, we will also read about your face, give you certain ideas on how you can improve that to your advantage. We will also read about your numerology chart as well. And if you have a house, you bring your floor plan along, right? We will do a basic reading for your house as well. Just tell you like how we can improve the feng shui of your house. Okay. Just bring the floor plan and tell me the facing of your house, the main door facing of your house. Then I'll just do everything for you. Now, if you come under this category and you think that you're in need of a reading, right? Please go ahead, take this bundle, because the original price for this bundle is 678. But today, before you even use the code, it is only 538. So if you use the seminar code, right? Seminar 12 code, I believe it will be 400 plus, right? Yeah, let me just do a quick calculation on this. Recently, we have gotten a lot of requests for 八字 reading, because I think a lot of people wants to find out something about their career path. Okay, after 12% discount, it will be 473.44. Okay, so it will be below $500 for the bracelet and also for the 八字 reading, which is a very good deal, because just the 八字 reading alone is already 328 already. Okay, yeah, 328. So today, if you are interested in purchasing this bundle, right, please do not miss this opportunity. Jake, you can request, okay? You can request for it. Then we will slot in for you, because I have some slots left for August, and I have some slots left also for September. But September, I'll be going to Hong Kong for work. For 1 week only lah. Yeah, for 1 week. Then I still have slots for the rest of you guys. So if you guys want to take up the bundle, right, this is the best opportunity for you to do so, because today we're having 12% additional discount. Like I mentioned, right, you can allow you to understand about the misfortunes that could happen in your life. And most people, they will look for us to find out about their career path. I can just give you an example of this guy again, right? So this guy, right, very interestingly, right, he wants to find out a career path for himself. Another client, so right now he's actually one of the head department heads in a bank. Okay, he's one of the department's head in a bank. But the problem with him is that he has a very kind and very a certain personality that has strong sense of justice. That's the thing that I can see from his 八字 chart. He don't like to work in a bank where they are very profit oriented. I mean, no offense to people working in the bank. So if you are there, you will know how the culture is like. But generally, he wants another place that can better suit his personality. So I told him about your personality being like that. And then he says that, okay, I agree. Now I understand why I cannot stand another minute there. So having very, very high salary doesn't make him happy. He wants, the bundle is, yes, correct. On top of that, right, we will also do a basic floor plan analysis for you. And on top of that, you will also get one bracelet of your choice. So then for this guy, finally, he understood why he cannot stand another moment in the bank. And he decided to quit. Although his salary was super high. Okay? Although his salary was super high, he just feel like, okay, it is time to go because it is not suitable. 不适合. Yep. So this is what we can help you to do. Some people also come to us for certain questions about their relationship as well. So they come for this bundle, but they want to understand, okay, now I'm divorced already. Then this new guy that I'm meeting, do you think that he's suitable for me? Should I move in with him? What should I do? And then certain people that are having, what we call the sandwich generation problem also have certain issues with their parents. And from their Bazi chart, I can also advise them whether it is a very good idea for them to continue living with their parents, or is it better for them to live in separate houses. So I'm not asking them not to take care of their parents. I'm saying that, sometimes you bo bian, when you live in separate houses, right, it could help you to improve the relationship. Okay. Now, the next one is a super good deal that I want to tell you guys about, which is the home feng shui. Because now there's a lot of people coming to us for home feng shui. One of the reasons why is because that we are actually transiting to what we call the period 9. So now we are at period 8, and next year it will be period 9. So a lot of things about home feng shui, right, will change. Now, this bundle for home feng shui, right, helps us to create a good and harmonious living environment. Because sometimes when you live in a certain place, imagine a house with bad feng shui. I always tell people this example. Just imagine that you go home, right, and then there's someone nagging at you. The house is nagging at you. The negative energy is nagging at you. Just imagine that you work one entire day, you're very tired already, you feel a little bit off, you just need a place to rest. But when you go home, the entire house is like biting at you, nagging at you. That kind of feeling is exactly the kind of feeling of living in a bad feng shui house. If you tell me that, okay, that's fine, no problem, I can bear with it, okay, good for you. But if your luck is already bad, and you live in this kind of house, it can truly give you issues. Recently, I have one request for a person going to her house to see why their family is always falling sick. So interestingly, they just moved into a new flat. And this new flat, right, does not exactly match some of the family members' parts. But that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is that the kitchen is also located at a wrong place, adding on to a certain issue within this flat, which is poor health, not only for the husband, but also for the rest of the family members. And this is one of the issues, right, with poor feng shui. It can make you it can make you feel that you are always lacking in energy, and it can also make your household fall sick easily. So this home feng shui bundle, right, is a very good offer because number one, we offer home feng shui audit. So we will do a pre-analysis. Before we go there, we'll do a pre-analysis already. And then Edmund, that's a very interesting question because technically speaking on paper, it starts 2024, but people kind of like already feel the change in 2020 already. Okay, so coming back to this, the bundle includes one home feng shui audit. Okay, and second thing it includes is 2 times 八字 services. Okay, and the third thing it includes is a feng shui tree. So you can think that one feng shui tree is already 298, and two 八字 reading is already 328 and 328. And our original price for home feng shui is 1888. So adding all together, right, today's price is only 1388. And this is why we feel like, this is a very good offer. On top of this 1388, right, what you can do is to also do a seminar 12 code discount as well. Now, some people will say that, hey, you know what? If you come to my house, will you upsell me things? So a lot of people who knows me, right, will know that actually I'm very chill. I go to your house, I settle the job, then I'll just zao already. And the second thing is that, right, some people are very stressful because what if you make my house look like a Chinese restaurant? I will not. Do you think my showroom looks like a Chinese restaurant? It doesn't, right? So I will not make your house look worse than my showroom. Okay, so I will not do that. The third thing that some people will ask is that, right, what happens when you come to my house but I forget what you say? No problem. I am actually more afraid that you forget than you. So what I'll do is that I'll line up a report for you from point 1 to point 40, or maybe whatever, how many points you have. I'll just list it everything down in a very detailed report. All you need to do is to follow it step by step. That's all. If you have any questions, you can also look for us. So some people will ask, when is it the best time? Okay, very interesting. anytime is the best time. But of course, if you are still shopping for your house, that is exactly the best time. Before you buy is the best time. After you buy, before you renovate is also the best time. You know, if you have already bought already and you want to do a normal audit, yes, there's less things that we can do for you, but regardless, it is still better than not doing anything. Okay, so that explains about our home feng shui package. If you guys are interested, please snap up the offer today, because this offer that we're offering for the bundle and also for home feng shui, right, only lasts until tomorrow 2359, right, Bibo? I cannot remember. Yeah, okay. So it only lasts until tomorrow 2359. Okay, so if you guys are interested, please use the seminar 12 code as well. Please don't forget to key in. Okay, don't forget to key in. Then obviously, if you have already feng shui your house and you've already read your 八字, one of the other ways that people will use to improve their luck is to use adult name change. So we do have the adult name change service as well, and we have priced it at 488. Okay, what it includes is that it includes 3 choices of adult names, and it also includes why we have chosen the certain name for you. So a lot of people will ask that, hey, are you sure that this relates? The answer is yes, because a good name can help to improve a person's luck. But what is the problem with names then? The problem with a lot of people's names are that they do not relate very well to their zodiac. So say, for example, if you are dead in a zodiac of goat or ox, right, there will need to be a certain kind of element within your names, and that is the element of the farms. So these names are for Chinese, but if you need one for English, right, we can do it for free for you, not a problem. Okay, so it is for Chinese name change, but the English one can be done for free. Okay, so then what some people can do is that, right, they can use this name change but not change their IC. So this name change is more like, you know, you need to use the name. So, you know, you don't need to purposely go to the IC there to change lah. Okay, so I hope that will help everyone understand what this package is about. Okay. And okay, the next one is actually a very interesting thing for people who are interested in whatever that I have done. So if you are very, very interested in learning how to read, right? If you are very interested in learning how to read, I highly encourage you, right, to take up our workshop. Because a lot of people, right, actually they want to learn how to read. Okay, a lot of people, they want to learn how to read. I want to learn about numerology. I want to learn about 八字 chart. Not a problem. Okay, what you can do is that you can sign up our courses. The next course will be in September. Okay, the next course will be in September. So I believe it is September 16 and 23rd, right? Is it 16 and 23rd? Okay. They are both on Saturdays, and then they will be from 9:30 to 5 o'clock. Okay, so it is a little bit confusing, but let me just guide you through. So for this one, actually it is the 八字 course only. This one is the 八字 course only. And then for this one, it is the numerology and the 八字 course. So the 八字 course only is 1 day. So for this one, right, numerology and 八字 course, right, it is 2 days. So for 2 days course, the price is only 588. What you will learn is that you will learn how to plot, read, and plot for other people a numerology chart. And then we will also teach you basic techniques of reading 八字 in the second session, and also basic techniques of face reading. So the price for it, right, is actually only 588. The original price is 1176. We are now starting recruitment for our September class. We just ran our first class a few weeks ago, and then we are running another class for 八字 reading this weekend. Okay, so we are now recruiting for our September class. So if you guys would want to learn how to read, right, please sign up for this. So think for it, like if you go for one 八字 reading, it's generally about $300+. You know, so if you learn this course, right, you can save many $300+. You can read for other people, you can read for yourself. Or next time, if you're considering also maybe a small side hustle in this business, right, you can also use your reading skills to read for other people. Okay, just like what some other people are doing. Okay, so on top of this 588, please remember to check out using the Seminar 12 code. Okay, so for those of you guys who already have attended, right, and want to go on to intermediate, let me know. I will give you another code for signing up to intermediate where you will get a better discount code. Okay, so thank you very much. Now let's move on. So before we go, just try to understand that, right, the world is not exactly one-dimensional. So a lot of times we incorporate a lot of different styles of readings is because that we want to be flexible to find solutions to problems and not get stuck. Okay, and second thing is that, right, feng shui and 八字 reading is not magic. You will need to manifest positivity to help you. Okay, so before I came here, I was doing 八字 readings for some of my clients, and one of them actually asked me, if I do nothing, will the romance luck come to me? If you stay at home, it will not come to you. I confirm 100% assure you, if you do nothing, nothing will happen. Okay, so that's the thing that I 100% can tell you lah. So, but the thing is that at least if she do something during the good luck period, okay, there's a very high chance that something good will happen to her, especially in regards to her romance in the upcoming few months. Now, the third thing is that no one is perfect. Please do not use your face reading skills to start deleting people off your IG page. Okay, so that's all that I want to share with you guys. Now let's move on to Q&A already. Oh, okay. This is my Q&A slide. Okay, so for you guys that also have questions, right, please feel free to ask me in the chat. Okay, the purpose of the ring is for career luck. Okay, so if you are looking for better career luck, you can purchase the ring that we shared just now. Okay, so any questions in the Q&A? Now we are open for questions. No problem, Adam. Thank you so much for coming. And send the ring link. Okay, people, can you send the ring link?
While I'm sending the link, the ring link, right? I just want to update you guys and remind you guys that this ring already sold out. I already pasted in the group, but I just want to tell you guys that this one already sold out, but then you can pre-order and your ring estimated to arrive in mid-September. So I just want to make sure that you guys are clear with that that information. Okay, suddenly you buy today and then don't ask us messages, where's the ring I already buy, and then why never reach me yet. Okay. No problem, Julia. So now you read my numerology, will it help? Calvinda is asking whether if you read her.
Yeah,
Calvinda, are you a he or she? You're she, right?
Yeah, it will help her because she lacked number 3 and also she lacked number 6. So it is quite hard for her to take control of opportunities even though they come knocking on her door.
Yeah. So Calvinda, I already gave you the link for all the courses. Do we wear in left or right hand? The ring, you mean left?
Yeah. Okay, are there any questions for Q&A for today? It's very strange because this is the first time that I don't have a lot of questions on Q&A.
Okay, guys, we are opening the floor for a question and answer. I'm giving it about 1 minute for you to get to type in. Actually, you need to type in the Q&A. I think a lot of people here are first timers. So first timers actually didn't know that you have to place your question in the Q&A box. So I'm opening the floor. You can just type in the questions in the chat box. Whatever question about the services, about numerology, about the detailed budget reading, any of questions that you want to know, you want to ask, you can ask it right now. Can I put the order for a ring by Friday? Need to check with my ring size. Yeah, sure, Calvinder, no problem.
Okay, so
do we wear at night to sleep with it? You mean the ring? Do you mean the ring?
Yeah.
Oh, the bracelet, the bracelet.
Okay, the bracelet is to wear daily. So it helps by increasing the elements and also the energy within your body. You do not wear it when you sleep at night because we want to keep the energy as low as possible when you sleep, and that's the entire purpose of yin and yang. You cannot always be strong all the time. You need to rest. Okay, so I hope that answers your question well. So Marcos asked, is the ring is for which finger to wear? Try to wear it on your forefinger. That's the second one. Okay, then anonymous attendee asks, if another feng shui master tells me my new flat is not suitable for my 八字 and I should not live there beyond 5 years, would you be able to propose something for me to overcome the supposed bad feng shui so that I can live in a flat longer? The answer is yes, but we need to understand what the problem is first. Okay, so understanding the problem is very critical because if I don't understand the problem by not having enough information, right, then it will be very difficult for me to come to a conclusion. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. There is always a solution for everything. And the thing that I want to explain is that, right, we can change a place from 30 marks to 50 marks or 60 marks, but it is not possible. It is not possible for us to make the place from 30 marks to 100 marks. I hope that is fair. Okay, so from 30 marks to 60 marks, it is possible, but it is not possible to change from 30 marks to 100 marks. Okay, so second one, what should I do if we do not have the spousal star in our 八字 chart? If you don't have the spouse star within your 八字 chart, right, you should have it still within your luck cycle. If you don't have it within your luck cycle, you will surely still have it within your year cycle. So not a problem. We can always read for you and find out exactly when the good timing is. I've read for just now one person also don't have spousal chart, but it is possible for her still to have a spouse. The only problem for her was to keep the spouse. Keeping the spouse for her was a lot more difficult than to find the spouse. Okay, so perhaps do a detailed reading first, and then we can see exactly what the problem is. Don't jump to conclusion. Don't be so stressed. Okay, yeah, do the reading first. It's usually not as bad as how you're thinking. Yeah. Don't know why sometimes I don't feel like wearing the Pichu bracelet, or the bracelet don't want to go out with me. Is it normal? Yes, sometimes it can be, which is why we have other series such as the DZ series and also the Bacchus series. For people that fear this problem, they can always go for the other series instead. For the face reading course, will we be able to teach what face will have good luck? The answer is yes. However, the face reading, right, is not a course. It is a free section that I give for free within the 八字 reading course. Okay, so the 八字 reading course is the main course, but the face reading course is kind of like an additional portion that I give for free within the course. Just so that it's like more value added. Okay, then the ring is suitable for all elements. The answer is yes.
We have another question here. The 588 course, is it just basic reading or is it sufficient to do a proper full reading?
Define a proper full reading. You will be enough for you to do a reading, right? To tell about a person's strengths and weakness and when you have good luck and when you will not have good luck. But there is also an intermediate and advanced. So the difference between the basic and the intermediate and advanced is that the intermediate, right, will allow you to know the kind of misfortune that will befall on the person when the person meet a certain year. Okay, and the advanced will cover the techniques that I created in our own team ourselves, and it will also cover what we call case studies. So when you see a parcel that's like that, usually it is like that. When you see a parcel that's like that, then usually it's like that. So I will have all these case studies for you during the advanced session. So the advanced session is very, very pinpointed at understanding misfortune in general. But the intermediate covers a lot on clashes. Yeah, on clashes. A feng shui master tells me a 八字 reading is sufficient. No need to do face reading. Do you agree? The answer is yes. I totally agree. In fact, just numerology reading alone is sufficient. If you do a full numerology reading, just 八字 reading alone is sufficient. If you do a full 八字 reading, the combination for all three is not so to challenge as to say who is better and who is not. The question is, do you want to be efficient? Do you want to go straight to the point to tell a person's problem? I give you an example. If you cannot write composition very well, there are two ways that I can communicate to you that you cannot write well. The first way is that I tell you, I prepare a PowerPoint slide, and then after that, I explain to you what a good piece of composition is like. And then I show you your composition that you have done in the past. Okay. The second way is that I can give you other people's composition, and then I can ask you, can you write like that? And then your answer will be, oh, I cannot. Then I'll tell you that, yeah, that's because your composition not very good. Your skill level not there. So there are two ways of communicating things to people. You are either efficient or you are not. But because of the volume of customers that we serve, we prefer to be efficient. Okay, I hope that answers your question. So there's no calling out of whose technique is better, what is necessary, but I need to be efficient because we serve a lot of clients. Okay. What happens if your face changes during surgery? Does it change your 八字? The answer is yes. Sometimes you change your face and your spouse luck become worse. You look better, but you disrupt your spouse luck. Possible for ladies who sometimes do plastic surgery. So for Priscilla, the answer to your question is that, right, it will allow you to know when is a good year, when is not a good year. It will allow you to know about your own strengths and weaknesses. It will allow you to know about your talents and some of the issues that you might face in your life. But for intermediate course, then it will cover in very, very detail exactly what are the type of misfortunes. And in the advanced, we will also cover the misfortunes in greater detail. And we also cover recommendations, and we will also cover about our other techniques that are not taught elsewhere. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. But for sure, if you want to do a reading for anyone, I think it will be good enough for you to raise their eyebrow. Okay, just by learning the basic. Try registry for course, but there says a portion deliver. Okay, so I think the portion for the course one, Bibo, can you help Calvinder out with that? I'm trying to register for the 2-day course, and after discount, yeah, it's correct. So Calvinder should be doing it right. Okay, Priscilla asked, may I know how much is the intermediate course? I cannot remember. Sorry, Bibo, how much is the intermediate course? I have no idea. Yeah, I only know the teaching part. I cannot remember. Oh yeah, you also cannot remember. I also cannot remember. Yeah, let me check. Let me check on the website. Oh, okay. 928 before less. The intermediate course will be held in November. The dates are kind of like fixed already. Then if you are joining us for the basic, then join us for the basic first, then go for the intermediate. It is better because if you go directly to the intermediate, you will faint. I'm quite sure you will faint unless your foundations are very good. Okay, so something about our courses is that if you sign up our courses already, right, I will invite you guys to a Telegram group. And then in the Telegram group, I will send you guys information before you come for the course. And I tolong, please, please, please read them before you come. Okay. If you are not free and you cannot read them, let me know. Then during the teaching on the day, I will slow down and I will try my best to help you to understand certain points. Because I don't want you to come and you don't learn anything. It is a shame, it is sad for me and for you. Okay. But for sure, you know, no problems. I want you guys to get to know each other because if you don't understand something, ask your neighbor. Okay, don't paiseh, just nudge, you know. Yeah, you know, last time we have this function called nudge, right? Then you nudge your friend, and then you ask your friend, hey, can you tell me what he just said? Yeah. So then usually your friend will ask you. Yeah, correct. Priscilla, this is the link for the intermediate. Yeah, that's for sure lah. Okay. Nudge your neighbor. Nudge your neighbor. Okay. Your neighbor will always help you. So we have we encourage a learning culture lah. So if somebody don't want to tell you anything, then they put their notes and then they hide like that. You just let me know lah. Maybe I'll consider chasing them out. But I've never had anyone in class that's like that before. Usually everyone is very kind to each other. You know, unless you're not very kind to him or her lah. Okay, don't worry. Generally the classes are very friendly, but I encourage you to share with each other information. We can still answer questions later.
We have one question here in the Q&A box.
Oh. Is your feng shui auditing applicable for evergreen? My house has been feng shui in 2017. Okay, that is a very good question, Laurel. Generally, it is evergreen, but I just want to ask you this question. Okay, can I do an evergreen set of 八字 reading? The answer is yes. In fact, if you have time and I can lay down every single year for you, by right, we can read for you for your entire life. But it could take many, many hours. That's the thing. So my answer to your question is that, right, we definitely can do an evergreen one. But however, can you do the maintenance? Can you handle the upkeep? Can you remember what we have told you, what we have said, and can you follow? So can you also confirm that there will not be changes to your house? Because we make changes to our house all the time. Sometimes we change a little bit of this, sometimes we change a little bit of that. So I can do for you many years in advance, but the problem lies in that, right? You will actually need to remember things that are being communicated. Okay, so that's my point. Generally, I encourage people to do yearly audit, but if you don't want to do that, what I also feel that you can do is that you can do every single period also can. So what some people will do is that they will do like every 10, 20 years, or they will do every time they shift a house. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Laurel. So definitely it's a little bit similar to like human beings. You know, you made certain decisions in your life, and then you feel that you need more advice. For example, you see 八字 in the past, and the person tell you that, oh, you know, you are suitable for tech industry, and then you do very well in tech industry. But then because you do very well and you travel, right, then it already affects your family luck. And then after it affects your family luck, now you really want to know what you can do to improve your family luck. So at a certain point of time, the kind of focus could be different as well. Okay, so we can do an evergreen one, but a lot of things are subjective. Okay, will the changes be drastic like knockdown wars? Generally, I try my best not to do it. You know why? Because I have done so many feng shui audit, right? That I know the renovation cost quite well already. And if you guys know me, right, I'm actually quite soft-hearted lah. So I don't want you all to overspend on renovation. So I always do my best to save money. So the person that always hit me, right, is the renovation person. They always feel like I go and cut their quotation here and there lah. So what I'm trying to say is that I will not do anything that make you overspend. And I know exactly how much you will spend doing whatever. So I'll try my best to save money for you. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I like to be efficient. That includes being efficient economically. Okay, so I think maybe we're going to do the giveaway first for whoever is still here. Then if there's any questions, we can answer after that.
Okay, so we are doing the giveaway right now. My question is, so the fifth person who answered this question, and make sure before you answer, right, you send your answer to everyone, not to host and panelists only. All right, make sure everyone can see, or else they say that I bias. I choose the people who I want to give to. All right, so make sure you send to everyone. So my question is, okay, let me, I didn't open my camera. Okay, let me open my camera first so that you all can see me. Okay, so my question is to you guys. Remember that Chase shared the Trinity of Luck. Can you name me the 3 luck? The fifth person who answered this will get our gift. The Trinity of Luck, and give me answer of that 3 luck. What are the 3 luck? Is that a very hard question? Or you guys never pay attention, is it? The fifth person who answered this will get a free gift from us. Oh, you are waiting to be fifth. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 1. Heaven, earth, and man. Okay, man is considered human, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th. A 5th person is Wan Ying Lo. Yeah, I count correctly, right? So it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Yeah, correct. It's Wan Ying Yo. Yay! I was thinking, why is it like nobody really answer? Everyone's waiting to be number 5. Remember, very good. Everybody said nobody said heaven and earth green tea. Yeah, and remember, today Wan Ying Lo got gift luck. All right. So Wan Ying, can you please message us? You can message us, and then we will send you newly launched evil eye necklace. Okay. Okay. Can us Roanne bring to class? Oh, you are in our class. Okay. You got one. You got your. Yeah. Okay. If you got your mine is tiger eye. Okay. So actually, okay. Then you can WhatsApp us. We will get Chase to give you a new one. Okay. So for those of you who still here, right? Remember, you can either buy our detailed home feng shui detailed reading, or else we have the adult name change. But other than that, you can go head on to our website. You can go to our bracelets. We have newly launched not only ring. I was just talking about ring, but then there are also newly launched evil eye necklace. So if you see the evil eye, right, Wan Ying got one for herself already. So that one is to protect all the negativity. You see, I also can be master already. Ayo, talking to Chase every day, I also can be master. Okay, ask me anything, I can answer for you. Okay, so I'm opening the floor again. So make sure you head on. I'm going to give you the website link again, so that you can go and check out the other stuff that we have. We have newly launched, and also, oh, by the way, we have upcoming newly launched in mid of September. It is specifically designed for personalities. You know, Chase was talking about missing numbers in your numerology chart, right? So these bracelets are specially designed for those of you who have specific missing numbers. This one will be launched on mid of September. But for now, you can go head on to our website. We have evil eye necklaces newly launched. Also, we have peace series also newly launched. We have DZ series, we have Abacus, we have Solid Gold, which is also our bestseller, and we have other things. But don't forget, let me put in seminar 12 today and tomorrow. It will end by tomorrow 11:59. So do not forget to use our promo code seminar 12 while checking out. Tomorrow, I don't want to see messaging us saying, oh, I forgot to use the promo code. Can you please give us the promo code again? Okay, we have to be fair and square to everybody, and we are not going to open up the promo code again. So it's valid up to tomorrow, and we are opening up just for you guys. Okay. And other than that, is there any other questions about the seminar, about the detailed reading, about the home feng shui? Any other questions before we end this seminar? It's already 10 o'clock. Everybody are tired. Tomorrow is a working day. So any other question? If there's any other questions, please type 1. If we are opening the floor for another a minute more, and then we are going to close this session for today. We have upcoming seminar coming up. We have what else? We have newly launched the personality one. That is what I've been waiting for. That is next month. And then we have new seminar coming next month as well. That will be specifically for parents, you know, parenting. So if you guys here who are parents, you can join us for our next seminar, where we will be talking more about your kids education and all that. So that is what. And other than that, maybe you want to, what else? Let me see if you guys, oh, we have the Abacus silver Abacus. We just launched last Monday. So usually you see the silver Abacus. The Abacus means the charm. So the charm in solid in gold, right? So this one we just launched it for silver. So for you guys who wants to buy it for your boyfriend, for your husband, so this one will be a perfect one. You can, our website is actually running with 10% off, but for you guys, you have 12 additional, another 2 more percent, so that is 12%. So did I say about the workshop coming up? Yeah. So for the bundles, right, you also know that we are not only giving the detailed reading, we are also giving free face reading for you. So when you come and then you show your face, right, so Chase will see your face, and then definitely he will be saying ready. So bracelet Chase will be recommending bracelet specifically, whichever that's suitable for you. All right, so you don't have to go and buy your bracelet separately. It's all included. I usually keep quiet when I do face reading. That's why you keep quiet whenever you talk to me, is it? Now I know, but you never quiet. You always talk to me. Okay, so basic floor plan. Okay, is there any other questions before we end? Very creepy to tell someone you are reading. Yeah, exactly. The courses are held in, yes, Calvinda. It will be in our office. September 1, yes. And September 1 are very, very limited because we are already opening up for the September 1 and people are buying it. So if you guys are still contemplating whether to buy it or not, please make sure you are fast enough because we are, the seats are filling up fast and Calvinda just got 1 seat. So we are seeing you in Calvinda, we are seeing you in September, right? Other than this, is there any other question? Please do not forget to, those of you who's asking for recording, who joined us halfway just now, right? Yes, we will be sending you recording, or else you can hit on to our, what do you call that? To our YouTube. We'll be uploading it on our YouTube, but make sure to join also our Telegram group. We are very active on Telegram. Thank you, Raj. See you again. Yeah, Raj was asking about the what do you call that? The YouTube link. Hi, thank you, Fel. So I think that's it for today. Any last word from Chase?
Okay, I guess thank you very much for staying until so late because tomorrow is a working day and I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys very soon in some way, one way or another. Then if you have nothing to do and when I have nothing to do, please come to my office and drink coffee. Coffee will be on us. Thank you very much for today's session, and upcoming in August, like what people mentioned, right, there will be a lot more seminars and hope that you guys will find the content fun. Please share them with your friends. After this, I guess maybe a few days time we will upload it to YouTube, and then you guys can rewatch some of the parts that if you miss, I say for example halfway you go toilet and pee, please feel free to just rewind back to that part that you missed. Okay, thank you very much and thanks for coming.
Thank you. And also don't forget, if you guys have time, feel free to drop down, or feel free to visit our showroom and get a free, was it free numerology or free face reading?
Free numerology reading.
Yeah, free of course, basic. You don't come and then expect and then ask Chase like 10,000 question. Okay, that is equivalent for you to just buy it. All right, I'm telling you guys. Okay.
Nobody will do that.
Okay, so please visit us as our showroom. But what happens for those working people? There's a question.
I mean, currently, I think for them, they can message me on my number 84153359 if you have any questions. But let's say if you want to visit us, unfortunately, Saturdays usually we are closed. So we got no choice. Then Sunday, sometimes I'll go back to the office for readings, but most of the time, my wife is trying to ask me to keep Sundays free. So she gets very angry when I packed it with readings. So no choice. Sometimes I can't go back to office. Yeah, so try and come Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
otherwise,
all right. And
otherwise
also,
just send me a message.
yeah. And also don't forget to join us on our Telegram group. Yeah. So we are going to end this session for today. I'll see you guys on the next session next month. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.